PGA European Tour is brought to you by Volvo.
Yes, good afternoon. This is Mark Robson saying a very warm welcome to you from the Canon European Masters at Crans-Sur-Sierre. We're at the top of a winding mountain road this week. We'll bring you on Eurosport all 4 rounds of the Canon European Masters from the aesthetically stunning Crans-Sur-Sierre course, situated 6,000 feet up in the Swiss Alps. And this week, hotel rooms are at a premium for the celebration of Crans' 50th anniversary as the venue for the Masters, incorporating the Swiss Open. The first of those won by Frenchman Fifi Cavallo in 1939, when the prize fund was only 5,000 Swiss francs. And now they're playing for a pot of £6.5 million and a first prize of £128,000 sterling. Well, Crans has a reputation for low scoring, but Severiano Ballesteros has made a few changes to toughen up the layout this year. But we can still expect some spectacular shooting in this intoxicating setting. Sevi has won the tournament himself 3 times, 77, 78 and 89. Ronan Rafferty just 1 year after he won the Order of Merit in 1990. Jamie Spence in 1992 came from 10 shots back in the final round to beat Colin Montgomery. And Barry Lane, also a former winner, but hasn't really produced great form since winning the Anderson Consulting last season. Eduardo Romero in 1994 playing today with Colin Montgomery, and I hear some early good scoring from the Argentinian. And last year it was Gronberg who beat Lane and Rocca into second place for his only tour win to date. Well, the location really is spellbinding, with views over Mont Blanc and the snowy Valais Alps, fir woods, fragrant alpine flowers and emerald lakes. A par 71 this year, par 72 it was last year. The 16th has been altered from a 4-iron wedge par 4 into what is, well, the players have described as almost a dogleg par 3. Conditions excellent today, about 16 degrees out there, sunshine, a little bit of cloud over the mountains, but the course bathed in sunshine. And our first look at Colin Montgomery on the 6th tee, and already he's made a cracking start, 4 under par. Colin Montgomery has already played 9 holes, so the 6th is his 15th. Patrick Sjöland of Sweden going well out in 31 on the back 9. And Per-Ulrik Johansson played so well, you remember. Valhalla in the USPGA Championship, he did so well there, as did Jesper Parnevik, you'll remember. Course designed by Englishmen Fremantle and Gedge on this course that overlooks the Rhone Valley. It sounds like solicitors to me. The green there looked a little bit bumpy, and nothing like as bad. They'll appear to be like billiard tables compared to Collingtree last week. Bernhard Langer, who has been battling against injuries all season and is still getting daily treatment, mostly hands and arms problems. Back and shoulder strains as well. It's a good shot, tough pin position here. Back to Per Ulrich. The confidence of a lot of the players who played at the British Masters last week will have been shattered by the greens, no doubt. We saw 4 putts on a regular basis, a 5-putt on one occasion. Well, that wasn't the fault of the green, he pushed that. Still 4 under par, and our first look of the day at Eduardo Romero playing with Colin Montgomery, his 15th hole. That's a good shot. Pin high, right club. Wouldn't have needed to go too much further. It would have toppled off that bank to the right of the green. Look at that, isn't that fantastic? Those mature pines. And Montgomery right in the middle of them as usual, middle of the fairway. And a good sensible shot from Montgomery. You notice that the applause from the crowd has a habit of echoing around the trees. Sweater off for the putt. Putting has been a problem, and just gesturing there that the greens are a little bit bumpy.
Stand still, please. One more player.
Langer stays at a 1 over par. Now Monty for yet another birdie. Never had the legs. And a typically amusing gesture from Colin. But the big Scot has a lot in his mind at the moment, is the ill health of his father. He is suffering serious heart problems with a triple bypass operation. And Monty's had that in his mind last week at the Masters, of course. Romero shot 4 successive birdies from the 14th today to turn in 31 shots, but it's Patrick Sjöland of Sweden at the top of the moment, with 6 holes to play, and the Swedes, the top 2 places on the leaderboard, Colin Montgomery and Eduardo Romero, those two playing together on 4 under par. Padraig Harrington at 3 under, chasing Raymond Russell for Rookie of the Year. Malcolm Mackenzie's going well. He was 6th in the Scottish Open, 2 under par after 11. Now, of course, the crowds will turn out in the hope of a Swiss victory. André Bossert. Polo Carici played very well here a couple of years ago, the Swiss professional from Sorengo, when he shot a last round 65 for 4th place. Bossert with a haircut. Short hair seems to be fashionable on tour. We saw Sam Torrance last week with his skinhead. They'll be to 2s next. Johansson. He seems to have played that pretty well. Okay. Now Langer at this 6th hole again. He began at the 10th, and this very short par 4. A lot of holes like that here, and the ball travels 10% further at this altitude, and that's a great shot from Langer. Special offer for 1 week only, an extra 15 yards, 20 yards on the drives. Hansen, who missed a short putt just a few moments ago. Oh, and he's done the same this time. That was more of a misread than a push. But, looking vulnerable from short range, and still 4 under the card.
Quiet now.
Really is hard to beat. I have to get the thesaurus out this week to find other words for stunning, spectacular and awesome. Another short par 4. That's a superb shot from Romero.
We just stand real still now, thanks, behind there as well.
Bossert at the 6th, trying to get back to level par. The cut this week is likely, if the weather stays like this, to be around par, 1 or 2 under. And again, bumbling and jostling the ball along, and the green's not the smoothest. Monty, just over 300 yards, and with the extra carry through the air and the thin atmosphere, players getting up here. Oh, and that's a typically magnificent shot from Montgomery, one of the straightest wooden club players in the world. Of course, they're all metals now, but I'm enjoying a bit of banter today with the crowd. Monty of the flexible personality, and Langer of the flexible putting grip, unfortunately. Robert Allenby, 3 wins on tour this season, and 1 last week at Conningtree, of course. Oh, that's a poor shot. He's hoiked that one away left. But his approach last week at Conningtree, mentally very strong. On poor greens, kept plugging away, didn't let the conditions get to him. He won 116,000 last week, and the first prize this time, 12,000 pounds more than that. 127,950 pounds at stake. It's a cracking prize fund in a very, very popular tournament. The players love the setting here. Allenby still with a chance for a birdie. But this hole seen by the players as an eagle opportunity. Alexander Cheka. Oh, looks like a great putt from Cheka. Oh, right in the middle. Great photograph in one of the golf magazines this month. Alexander Cheka at impact has his tongue out. Maybe you should all try it at the weekend. Might help your game. Monty for an eagle. He was never going to quite make it, but so he'll be happy enough. That's a birdie 3 at the 7th. His 16th. Par 3, and then the 618-yard par 5 9th to come. Wreathed in smiles, Monty, as he moves to 5 under par to lead the tournament. And that's why he leads, because Patrick Scholand has dropped a shot at the 4th hole. The 4th hole, by the way, is over 500 yards, but it's par 4. Romero for his eagle. He doesn't look as if he's hit that one either. But an almost certain birdie for Eduardo, the Argentinian. Back Johansson. And is putting and pressing no one at the moment, least of all himself. Allenby for a 3. Oh, super putt. And, well, he putted tremendously well on the crumbling, bouncy, crusty greens of Collingtree. Not having a great round today. He's 1 over par, perhaps suffering a reaction to that victory last week. Romero, he taps in, so glamorous 3-ball moves on. And great scoring from those two, Romero and Montgomery, who share the lead now. There's Padraig Harrington, Spanish Open champion. Cracking shot from Padraig, who's had 5 top 10 finishes this season, although he's missed the last 3 cuts. .175 yards this hole. Another splendid shot from Romero. His game is definitely clicking today. And this monstrous 9th hole.
Jättebra. Jättebra.
And he drills one down the right-hand side. Unlikely to get up in 2 here, even with the advantage provided by the thinner air. And there's a super shot too from Montgomery. Romero and Montgomery matching each other shot for shot. Monty's not happy with that. A man who sets exceptionally high standards. Some would say unnatural standards, but perhaps is what keeps him motivated, seeking improvement all the time. Here's a player destined for a great future. He's having a great present as well. Some talk in the papers this morning that Allenby had to fly home to Australia after Collingtree to have a word with the wife because she was spending all of the money he's won this season rather quickly. But it's only paper talk at the moment. No doubt find out the truth after the round. And the truth of the matter out in the course is that Montgomery and Romero are leading after 16 holes. Johansson, despite a couple of tweaks from short range, on 4 under par with fellow Swede Scholand. Padraig Harrington has a chance to join them after hitting a fine second shot into 15. Peter Mitchell, steadiness personified on tour this season at 2 under par. Robert Coles, who's showing some good form of late, 2 under at the turn. Well, those are essential this week, the binoculars, not only to see the golf, but to enjoy the scenery. Monty for a 2. Oh. Johansson hitting an iron. Slightly mechanical action. Manufactured action, but a very effective one. The only problem in this hole is if you could nestle your second shot underneath one of those 2 trees, the one on the left, on the fairway. Just about where you want to land your second shot. Now Harrington for a birdie. Cack-handed from that range. playing with Miguel Angel Jimenez. Such a stunning finish to the British Masters last week. Allenby in an attempt to get back to par. There's a post-mortem ongoing, by the way, into the condition of the greens at Collingtree to find out exactly what substances were applied to them. And he does a Monty. In fact, the tour has refunded the £25 entry fee to each man who played in the 1-to-1 British Masters as a gesture of... Oh, good putt from Romero. He's done the other two couldn't manage, and that was avoid the paint on the rim, and he goes to 6 under par and now leads the tournament on his own. With 1 hole to go, Malcolm Mackenzie moving slowly but surely up the leaderboard, 4 under par now after 13 holes. Johansson to finish with a birdie. Needs to get down in 2. Ooh, almost got down in 1. Fine approach from Johansson. Andre Bossert. That's a good-looking putt in all the way. And delight for the home gallery as Bossert returns to level par. Gary Orr, the former Rookie of the Year. He's 3 under. And improves on that. Well struck birdie putt. Hit positively. And Romero. Up the 9th, in the rough on the right-hand side, so playing for position. And playing for position very well. Good shot. Now it's Monty 9th at Collingtree. Won the Irish Open this year. Also won in Dubai, which was his first appearance of the season. And 2nd on the money list, but Ian Woosnam isn't playing this week, so Monty has a chance to overtake him. Get back to the top. And Allenby close to Romero's ball, and again, just a question of putting herself in good position for a pitch to the green. And up ahead, Johansson for the birdie. No, and again, he misses on the right-hand side. Par is 71 here. It was 72 last year, but the 16th has been altered from par 4 to a par 3. But still, despite those missed putts, a fine round of golf from Johansson. Over £400,000 he's won this season, Allenby now. Heads across the Atlantic to represent the rest of the world in the President's Cup in Virginia very soon. And that's working hard. And he should finish on level par, 71 now. Wry smile from Allenby. It hasn't been an easy day for him. And will that do the same? Well, didn't quite have the suck on it that Allenby's had, but still a fine shot. And Monty, two splendid shots from him. He went with a wooden club or a metal wood for his second shot. He wants that one to topple back down the slope as well, which it should do. And it's like a game of bowls, isn't it? And Allenby is closest to the jack. Harrington going for the green at this drivable par 4 7th. And oh, great bunker shot by Harrington. And Romero, he dribbled that one a bit. There was nothing positive about the strike. Downhill, it's hard to make a positive action sometimes. Fear of bludgeoning the ball 2 or 3 feet past, but it's a 65. Just the one drop shot, par 3, 11th hole. And Monty, he knows which way this one goes, and he was a bit firmer with that, and a fine putt and a fine way to finish. A birdie at the 9th. And a 65 from Monty, eagling the first hole, his 10th. And Allenby, he rolls one in, just a tap in really. He finishes on 71, level par. The man pushing Montgomery and Woosnam for a spot of Order of Merit winner at the end of the season. Now Harrington, cack-handed again, and this time he gets one in. And he goes to 4 under par. What a great season he's had, Harrington. A few hiccups in the last few weeks, but back in form in Switzerland this week. Malcolm Mackenzie, who was 6th at Carnoustie, going well today. Now Langer, he has to negotiate that irritatingly placed tree on the left-hand side of the fairway. In fact, he was able to slide the ball through the gap and try and cut the ball in. And it's worked out pretty well. That should come in off the bank, and that's a great shot from Langer. Artistry from the German. Much better position in the middle of the fairway from Bossert. That's a good shot too. Not going in with too much here for the third shot. And that shows you just how incredible the setting is here at Crans-Sur-Sierre. Not so bad from this range, Langer. That's a much better from that range these days than he is from 3 and 4 feet. As I said to you at the German Open, it's remarkable, despite the problems he's having with his arms and his hands and the lack of control and the involuntary twitches, he still holds a remarkable number of short-range putts. Back in 37, playing the back 9 first, 71. Bossert for the same score. Playing with Langer and Philip Walton today. Walton, who made a good start to his Ryder Cup challenge last week at the British Masters, finding some form at last. Hasn't played too well this season, Philip. And Bossert, that looks in. Oh, super putt from the hometown lad, and that's level par 71. Good finish for him, having dropped a shot at the 8th, his 17th. Now it's Malcolm Mackenzie. And this is for a birdie, and we know it's lightning fast down here. Only has to touch the ball. But do you see this gather speed all the way to the hole? And thank you very much.
That last year.
Oh, look at that for a finish. 3-2-4. 31 shots, 5 under par for the front nine, which he played second. Nordberg from Sweden, and he's had a cracking round today too. Oh, it just seemed to bobble a bit there, about a foot short of the hole. Greens a little bit inconsistent, it would seem. But it's another good score, 66 and symmetrical 33s for Ole Nordberg. But it's Montgomery, Romero and Malcolm Mackenzie at the top of the leaderboard. Early stages in round one, they amongst the early starters. We'll be back with more live golf in a moment. To you live from Crans-Sur-Sierre in Switzerland. Canon European Masters round one in the shadows of the Alps. Beautiful little traditional Swiss chalets which surround the course here. Course that's covered in snow in the winter, so the greenkeepers can do nothing in the winter months. Have to start from scratch every year when the snows melt and the alpines flower. David Guilford, now he's had a pretty awful season following the Ryder Cup and having to hack it sideways. Three under par he is today, though. Now Paul Broadhurst for a birdie at his 10th hole, the first on the course. You can hear him there, probably saying he pushed it. Yeah, good season. 2nd, 9th, 3rd and 43rd the last 4 weeks. Lost in a playoff for the Scandinavian Masters, and on top of that, 3 further top 10s. Michael Campbell hasn't played well to date this season. A little bit of a breeze here in the mountains today, and Campbell almost coming off there. Wasn't very far away from being a great golf shot from the man who led the Open after 3 rounds at St Andrews, and at that stage everybody thought, well, here's the next big star. But he's hiccuped and stumbled this season. 14th at Craw, another long par 5 in theory, but in practice not too bad, with the ball flying considerably further up here. There's the little water feature you saw from behind the green, and the bunker just in front of it is where Campbell's ball lies. So if you do go for the green here in 2, you've got to certainly make sure you get up, or you'll find a little watery grave. Nice hole, interestingly designed. Playing your 2nd or your 3rd shot from that little plateau there. And Guilford had no option but to play back to the safety of the fairway. And there's what I mean about his poor form this season. He has won 6 times on tour, but not this season, and is 87th on the Volvo ranking at the moment. Well, not a bad career all round. And all players hit slumps for reasons they can't quite explain. Sometimes it's technical, sometimes not, sometimes mental. Subconscious exhaustion. But I'm not a sports psychologist. Maybe somebody could explain to me exactly why players go into slumps like this. This is a sort of mini slump, if you like. Any learned sports psychologists who'd like to help me out, do not hesitate. Guilford selecting the wrong club. Club selection here is vital, because The ball does fly that little bit further, so you have to adapt. Case of working out in practice and on the range exactly how far each club flies, because it's different to normal conditions. Costantino, second last year. Good week at Collingtree too, when he finished third. Managing to stay out of the sand, just. Really is beautiful, isn't it? Nippenberg in the German Open, when they showed shots of the surrounding countryside, all we saw were telegraph wires and ploughed fields, but this is something else. You can almost hear the silence. So I'm an avid skier myself, and it's the views and the beauty of the mountains as much as the sport itself that attracts me. Aldo Casera from Italy. 5 over par. Well, poor start on a course we expect low scores. Man who's been around for a long time. By Campbell, up and down for a birdie. What a beautiful shot. Beautiful camera work. Needs a bit of action on that one. Still has a chance for a birdie. Campbell's best finish in Europe is a lowly 30th. In the German Open, one of several tournaments this year to have been truncated by weather conditions. Five eagles already here at the par 5 14th. Playing a quarter of a shot under par. Lots of birdie opportunities on this golf course, despite Seve's toughening up process, which he has carried out in the last year. A few greens have been reshaped, bunkers inserted. 16th change from a par 4 to a par 3, as I mentioned. Now Guilford. About half a club too much there. But a well-judged putt from Guilford. This course known as the Little Swiss St Andrews, because like St Andrews it's 5,000 feet above sea level. No, it's because like St Andrews it starts and finishes in the centre of the town. But I think that's where the similarities end. Hello, like St Andrews, there's a lot of tradition at this course. It's the 50th anniversary. 50th time the Swiss Open, or European Masters, which now incorporates it, has been played on this majestically sited golf course in the Swiss Alps. Broadhurst with this interesting little almost flick at the top of the backswing. It's like a fishing rod up there. Campbell for a birdie. Showing a few signs today of form. You see the strength of the breeze perfectly there as Campbell. Ooh. Can't quite believe it. So a reachable par 5, disappointing for the New Zealander of Scottish descent. Great grandfather was a Scotsman. And Rocca is 100% Italian, and he's not going too well. And make par here. And the par for Guildford. Remember the year he won the English Open at the Belfry when he led for almost the entire tournament and showed great resolve that week, proved his ability to himself and to his colleagues on tour. Barry Lane, another player who hasn't had a great season. Finished 4th early in the season in the Portuguese Open, but apart from that for Barry Lane, it's been disappointing too. Of course, a whole new beginning for these players. Last week, the Ryder Cup points table began at Collingtree. And that was a good week in that respect for Miguel Angel Martin, who lost to the playoff to Allenby. Of course, Allenby doesn't count in the Ryder Cup standings naturally, being an Australian. So Martin is the man at the top after tournament number 1. Defending champion Gronberg. Has capitalised on that success last year to a certain extent with 3 top 10s this season. Morocco, Spain on the BMW. And here's Sam Torrance. That new haircut of his looks like an extra from Papillon. Poor form this season after finishing 2nd in the order of merit last year, but that's a brilliant shot from the Scotsman. And a real eagle opportunity there for Sam. Now Seve, 2 over par. Manu was complaining last week that the courses they were playing, a lot of the golf courses they were playing on the tour weren't tough enough. We needed quality courses to produce the right sort of Ryder Cup team. Well, he's the man who's toughened this course up, which is known to be one of, if not the easiest courses on the circuit. And I wonder what the players will feel about his improvements on this particular 18. And a flash of the old Seve there. Good shot from the Spaniard. He's had to work on his swing quite a bit to alleviate back problems. He's become a little bit more mechanical by design. Take the pressure off the lower back. And as so often happens, when the ball bobbles straight away, the ball finishes short. Broadhurst taps in to stay 5 under par. Excellent round so far from him. And there at the top leaderboard, Malcolm Mackenzie, who supports Sheffield Wednesday, who are top of the Premiership. Mackenzie top of the leaderboard in round 1 at Cron. Mark Robson saying welcome back to round 1 of the European Masters. Crans-Sur-Sierre, the Swiss Alps. Severiano Ballesteros walking through shot. The European Tour Executive Director Ken Schofield has personally apologised to Ryder Cup captain Seve, European #1 Colin Montgomery and the champion Robert Allenby for the state of the greens at the 1-to-1 British Masters last week. It's got to be one of the slowest slow-mos I've ever seen. But we're watching it for good reason. Because eventually, just like at normal speed, well, maybe it won't. Back to Seve for an eagle. Great tee shot, great second shot. That would have wiped away quite a bit of the damage he's done today. But this for a birdie. Back to 1 over. Yeah, the post-mortem at Collingtree has involved the collection of soil samples which have been sent for laboratory testing to establish exactly what substances were applied to the putting surfaces in the 3-week period immediately prior to the tournament. And the tour officials hope to obtain an analysis report from the Boffins in time for a mass meeting of players requested by Ballesteros and scheduled to be held on the eve of next week's Lancôme Trophy in Paris. Now Sam for an eagle after what can only be described as a glorious second shot. The first Scottish GI by the looks of the haircut. No. That just motored on when it reached the hole. Birdie not guaranteed, despite the quality of the second shot. But a birdie he gets. Transferred the hair they took off his head to his chin. Interesting surgical technique. Yes, Schofield just back to Collingtree. He's told every professional at Cron this week that he shares their justifiable, this is a quote, their justifiable frustration, concern and sheer embarrassment at a situation which saw us reach the lowest ebb in my experience. So the condition of the greens at Collingtree really hitting a nerve within the European Tour. Lee Westwood. Oh, and that's That's why he's fourth in the money list, holding putts like that. Scandinavian Masters champion. Although he missed the cut last week. Broadhurst. Beautiful blue skies here today, and a great tee shot from Broadhurst. Almost pitched in the hole. The Ulsterman, Ronan Rafferty, from the Warren Point Club originally, now living in Ascot, and misreading that. Another big name player who's struggling a bit this season. His form has been a little bit better of late, though he missed the cut last week, 13th in the German Open, but his best finish to date is 10th in Italy. And again, he's not playing his best golf today either. Well, the skiing season isn't that far away. I'll be out at the dry slope near my home very shortly. Get the thighs strengthened for an assault on the mountains of Europe and possibly beyond this year. Might go to America for the first time. That just sets me itching, you know. Get the Salopets iron tonight in preparation. The golf course set on a plateau here, below the summits of the Swiss Alps. Mont Blanc visible from the course. The Valais Alps. Beautiful, beautiful. Some of the greens, the shadows of the mountains, reshaped this year. A few fairway bunkers put in. On a course that has twice featured European record rounds of 60.
Yeah.
Darren Clark, in a recent biog, he said that he would like to improve his short game. He's very consistent and powerful from the tee. He's 3 under today, and he did manage an eagle at the 14th. So he's sticking a good round together now after a disappointing enough start, 1 over after 4. Tough bunker shot it was for him, and here's a difficult shot too for Jamie Spence, who's 6 over par. Spence, who won here in 1992, his only tour win when he came from 10 shots back. Oh, well, it showed you how difficult the shot was. Yeah, it was an amazing performance by Spence in 92. It was the best ever clawback in European Tour history. If he's going to win this one, he's going to have to produce even more remarkable golf, I fancy. Dear. Well, the head's down, he's disconsolate now. And great disappointment today for Jamie Spence.
Match number 30 to Silke. Silke, we need a referee on the green of hole number 14.
Well, we've seen a few poorish shots from around the green in the last 30 seconds or so. Costantino Rocca now guilty. Now, the Burley figure of Darren Clark for a birdie at the 15th. 520-yard par 5, having played. It was a difficult bunker shot he had. Played it fine. Former Belgian Open champion. Recently married the lovely Heather, and par only at the par 5. Big Darren not really capitalising on that Belgian Open win. He knows it himself. Keith Goosen, a winner on tour this year, Slaley Hall. Not scampering on. Goosen's win at Slaley was one of 3 top 5 finishes this season, and those all came in a 5-week spell in midsummer. 3 putts here. Back to Paul Broadhurst, who's featured a lot in our coverage on Eurosport in recent weeks. He's been there or thereabouts on numerous occasions. But a bit of a misread on this occasion. The mallet putter, one of those old zebra lookalikes. Remember the old zebras? You still see the odd one about. It's relaxing just to look at that scenery. Guilford hand goes straight into the pocket, and well, we know how difficult that can be from there. Darren Clarke was in a similar position moments ago. Tough to get the ball close to the flag from that spot in the bunker. Precise judgment required from Guilford. Well, the contact sounded good from the rough. And a straightforward enough chip for Barry Lane up the green. Lee Westwood and Paul Broadhurst are challenging the lead, which is shared by 3 players: Montgomery, Romero and Mackenzie. Another hour of live golf coming your way very soon. Welcome back to Cron. Live first round action in the European Masters. And just in time to see how David Guilford negotiates this very tricky little bunker shot. Barry Lane, by the way, has pitched about 4 feet past, leaving himself with a downhill putt for a birdie. And that's just about where Darren Clarke finished. And wise to be safe from there. You can easily leave the ball in the bunker, as Jamie Spence did. Spence bunker shot coming from actually an easier position than Guilford's. Tried to cut off a little bit too much and left himself dunked in the sand. A walking, talking, advertising board is David Guilford, who's 3 under par, Still has a birdie putt here, remember. Back-to-back par 5s on the back 9. Made a great start today. Eagling 1, 6 and 7 to be out in a 4 under par 32, but finding things a little bit trickier on the back 9. In the trees at the previous hole and finding sand here. Pretty tempting to go for the green or to go for the flag with your second shot here at this par 5. Very reachable, but the punishment is severe if you tweak it more than 2 or 3 yards left. For that very reason, Guilford could well drop a shot here. Michael Campbell, who was second twice last year, Volvo and at the British Masters, the PGA at Wentworth and the British Masters. Again, a man who has suffered from injury in the past. That looks good. What do you see how far this goes past? Yeah. A tricky putt from above the hole on this par 5. Another player growing one of these little goatee type beards. And former champion here, Sandy Lyle, shooting for currently level par. Barry Lane for a birdie, and he'll know exactly how quick this putt is now. Watch Campbell, and he'll go quite a bit past 2. Sandy Lyle, by the way, holds the low 36-hole total on the European Tour, 17 under par in 1983 at this very course. Westwood, after a spectacular 2 at the 13th hole, can really make an impression. Well, that's the one place you don't want to miss the green here. Guilford gets his par 5. Back to Severiano Ballesteros. But first, Michael Campbell. For a par at 15, which he gets straight uphill. Westwood, fortunately, he's got a little bit of green to play with here. But we've seen some pretty good pitch shots from here already, and well, the rough down on that right-hand side is thickish. It's that 15th hole we've just been watching here at Crans-Sur-Sierre, 520 yards par 5. Pretty straightforward, but as we saw, don't miss it left. because the pin is tucked into that bunker. You can see the second bunker close to the green. Now Sam Torrance, who knocked his second shot at 14 with a wooden club, very close. Going with medal again, asking for assistance from the wind, and he got assistance from the terrain. And he should birdie this, and an opportunity for a 3 from there for Sam Torrance. The champion. Cries of sit into that dreaded bunker. Not just as difficult a shot as Guilford had, but slippery nevertheless. Nice Seve. He'll go for the green. That's inevitable. Fortunate enough to avoid the bunker off the tee. The man who redesigned a fair bit of this course, made a few alterations, and what a shot from Ballesteros. Well, that's the old Seve right at the flag. Quick putt remaining, but good chance of a birdie for the Spaniard, the Ryder Cup captain. Bouncing on, just hold on there, just catches the second cut. The bunkers you can see there directly over the back of the green to catch a miss club, an over club. Barry Lane, Michael Campbell and David Guilford, this 3-ball. The lowest 72-hole total set on tour was set here in terms of being under the card. 27 under by Jerry Anderson in 1984. And Guilford, his game is suffering this season. Or his scores have been suffering as a result of his game. Now Broadhurst.
Oh, come on, man. It is good as you look.
Yeah, it is as good as it looks. Familiar pose of Michael Campbell's at address. Well, looked to me a little bit quick. Seemed to snatch at it. This 16th hole, one of the holes that Seve redesigned. It used to be a par 4, a 4-iron off the tee sort of thing, and a wedge in. And some of the players describing the 16th as a dog-leg par 3 because of the tree that you have just seen. Weather conditions can change very quickly in the mountains, as you know, but the prize fund will remain exactly the same no matter what happens throughout the week. £127,950. That's if we complete 72 holes. 85,250. 48,000 for third. Not too many tournaments left for players who are hovering around the 115th spot in the European Order of Merit, because the top 115 retain their tour cards for next season. And really it's only this tournament and the European Open, the ones that the strugglers have a chance of getting into, possibly the OK Pro-Am as well in Madrid. So time running out. The player currently 115th is Emanuele Canonica of Italy. But it'll be a nerve-wracking tournament or two for players like Antoine Lebu, Robert Coles. And that's real pressure, trying to hold on to your livelihood. Kronberg making a solid beginning to the defence of the title. Not much green to play with here. Terrain sloping away.
That's not even good.
Darren Clark and David Guilford also put their bunker shots well beyond the flag. And takes a brave man just to flop the ball out 6 inches beyond the edge of the bunker and let it roll down to the flag. So sensible shot is to go beyond. And this man is putting pretty well, Lee Westwood. That one though, I think, to save par. Having rattled the trees, Guilford playing a rather clumsy second shot by his standards. Great temperament for the game, Guilford. Always usually looks pretty relaxed, in control. Emotionally anyway, not physically. Seve. For an eagle 3. Now it is quick, but is it that quick? It is, you know. It is, you know. Oh, great putt by Ballesteros. Fabulous judgment. Hard to believe, watching that putt set off, that it would eventually finish past the hole. And a birdie for the old master. Broadhurst at the 4th, his 13th after that first-class second shot. This 503-yard par 4. To remind you. Four tour wins. 1995 French Open was the last one. Kronberg's birdie putt. Second shot finished no more than 15-20 feet left of the flag, but find that bunker that's becoming already, I suppose, quite notorious. It's playing an interesting cameo role in this first round of the Canon European Masters. '57th on the money list this season from 23 tournaments, Kronberg. £88,000 he's won. Michael Campbell, who hiked his tee shot away left. This to save his par. This controversial 16th, and does it well. Nice stroke, good putt. New Zealander stays at 3 under par, 3 shots behind the leaders. Montgomery, Romero and Malcolm Mackenzie. Back to the tribulations of Guildford. Oh, what a 3 that would have been. Sam opting for the putter at 15. 2 very good shots at this par 5. And that's a cert birdie, back-to-back birdies for Sam Torrance. And now it's 16. Long par 3 it is. 235 yards. Sam Torrance, a man who really accelerates through the ball. And getting a nice little kick once again. In fact, that's 2 in a row. You see the players back on the tee and what exactly they have to negotiate. Paul Broadhurst by no means certain of making par here, despite 2 great shots into this green. I know it was missing from the moment he hit it. Seve, not the hole he designed. Tongue goes into cheek. That's why. The wind getting up here at Craw. Weather conditions capricious, to say the least, in the mountains. You can have glorious sunshine 1 second and a blizzard 10 minutes later. I know, I've experienced it. Skiing, that is, not playing golf, but we're in the same place. You can hear the wind gusting in the background. And Gronberg, he reckons he can make it with an iron club. Gave it everything. And he gets a Torrance kick. And that could finish very, very close indeed. Well, he didn't look or sound too happy when the ball was in the air. He'll be a bit happier now. Montgomery, Romero and Mackenzie remaining in the lead on 6 under par. They finished their rounds today. But Sam Torrance showing some good form at long last this season. 5 under par with a birdie putt to join the leaders on the 16th hole. Darren Clark, good round from him too. Back soon with more. Oh, and Mackenzie lead on day 1 of the European Masters. Crans-Sur-Sierre and Severiano Ballesteros has a tricky little pitch shot to negotiate here. Fair bit of green to play with. Took a wood at this par 5, par 3. The hole that he changed from an easy par 4 into a very demanding par 3. They're 6,000 feet above the Rhone Valley, one of the most popular tournaments of the season for the players, and Seve struggling now to make par after birdieing the last hole in pretty spectacular fashion. That's David Guildford. First look at the 17th, 345-yard par 4. And Guildford playing a masterly little second shot there. The knowledgeable amongst the crowd appreciating that shot from the Englishman. Torrance, after a fortuitous kick off his tee shot, for a birdie. Again, it bobbled a little bit on impact, and well, the inevitable result, almost inevitable result, short. Pin tucked back left. Campbell. And he's got a friendly bounce as well, and that's going to finish in good shape. Seve for a par. Oh, a shot drop for Ballesteros. Very critical last week of Collingtree, critical of Nippenberg as well, saying it was embarrassingly easy for the players. An award-winning photograph that might be, the mountains in the background off the reflection. There's all sport when you need them. Maybe it's a cliche. Look, I know nothing about photography. Now Gronberg. This ball received a good kick too, and plenty of forward motion. And he can't capitalise on the good fortune either. The 5th hole. Broadhurst playing the course back to front today, starting at the 10th. Tall timbers to carry there. And oh yeah, what a great shot. Great shot from Broadhurst. Superb recovery. Torrance, meanwhile, for a par. David Howell putting a good round together. And a cracking shot. Gives himself an uphill putt. Campbell has to settle for a par at 17. In the shadows of the trees, no need for the welding goggles. Westwood at the par 5, 15th. Looked to be in something nasty and heavy. And again, just getting that nice little kick off the fringe rough, and the banking sloping down towards the flag, and that's turned out very well for Westwood. Meanwhile, Guildford for a birdie. Oh, fine putt. Nowhere else but right in the middle. Well, a lot of action on that shot he played in there, but Well, it wasn't a good putt. To be honest, the state of the greens, from what we can see, haven't made putting that easy. Easier than last week, undoubtedly. Grönberg, Torrance, and Ballesteros at 17. Torrance's ball, he went first. You can see it on the right-hand side of your picture, I think, just in the light rough. Seve, who dropped a shot at 16. Three times a winner here. 77, 78, and 89. And a good tee shot from the legend. Now back to the former Ryder Cup player, Paul Broadhurst. For the birdie with his 14th. It's a better looking putt from Broadhurst, but this time he had the line, but not the weight. It's not one, it's the other at the moment for him. Gary Orr, Scholen, Nordberg, Torrance and Westwood chasing the leaders. Montgomery, Romero, Mackenzie, all at 6 under par. Torrance, well, he has a realistic chance of catching those three. Just taking a look there at the 17th, the aerial view of this 17th hole, which Severiano Ballesteros, Matthias Grönberg and Sam Torrance are playing at this very moment. Live golf on Eurosport, round one of the Canon European Masters. Beautiful conditions here on a beautifully situated golf course. And Seve playing pretty good shot. Expected that one to check a little bit quicker than it did. It tried to, but then skidded on. It's still a birdie putt for Spaniard. Now, looks like Darren Clark. And he put a good stroke on that, but he just didn't hit it hard enough, did he? But tap in for Darren. The big man from Dungannon shoots a 67. Just the one bogey on the card coming at the fourth. Now Torrance. Yeah, knocking it in low, and similar result to Seve's. A little bit closer from Sam. Barry Lane finishing off his round, and he got plenty of check on that one. Must have looked good to him. Westwood, after that excellent little bounce for an eagle at the 15th, and he really can catch the leaders now. In fact, he can overtake them if this one goes in, which it does. Great putt from Westwood. Tremendous season he's having. A man who very much impressed Gary Player when they played in practice rounds at the British Open at Lytham, and he now moves into the lead. More problems for Guilford. He's been in the trees a couple of times today, but he's hanging in there well. Hold a good putt at the last.
You stand still, please.
Sign, of course, of a good professional golfer, that even though he's not maybe playing at 100% of his ability, he's still putting together a good score. The 18th hole here, 377 yards. Leaves himself with a tricky little pitch shot. Seve for a birdie, and thank you very much. That will do nicely. And Seve, after dropping a shot at 16, hits back immediately. Back to where he started the day. Campbell at the final hole. And shot from Campbell, but the same thing has happened to Barry Lane's ball. Maybe to throw that one a little bit further, another 10 yards further probably, to gain the maximum benefit from the backspin. Crowd's beginning to build up here at Crans-Sur-Sierre. That stand was completely empty about an hour and a half ago, but fans enjoying the sunshine here in Switzerland. And this 16th, which is proving a bit of a handful for some today, notably Ballesteros and Guildford. Almost a dog leg par 3. We're now looking at the tournament leader, Lee Westwood, 7 under par. Staring a 64 in the face. This golf course noted for low scores and European Tour records. Most birdies in one round here, 11. Baldovino Dassu in 71. Canizares in 86. And not Lee's best, but straightforward chip, up and down, shouldn't be a problem for the Scandinavian Masters champion. Torrance to join the group of 3 in second place. Looks, yeah, always tending right. Needed to be firmer to hold that line. He'll be a bit happier with his game today than he has been in recent weeks and months, Sam Torrance. Difficult pitch shot that was. Guildford is that putt for a 68. 69 though wouldn't be that bad a score considering some of the shots we've seen him play. Final hole, Seve. Look at that for camera work. Oh, it's a great tee shot from Ballesteros. Starting at left and teasing it right into the heart of this narrow fairway. Torrance. This stage last season, he was leading the Order of Merit after his British Masters win. This year it's Woosnam leading. Montgomery last year was second, this year second. And of course last year he beat Torrance in the race to the European Order of Merit title. on the last hole of the last tournament at Valderrama in the Volvo Masters. Campbell for 3, looks good. Ooh. Sports Centre news coming up after this coverage, which finishes in about 10 minutes time, or a live golf from Switzerland. Michael Campbell, 68 for him. Good round of golf, no drop shots, 3 birdies, all very straightforward. The way this golf course is managed has changed over the years. In the 80s, the greenkeeper and his staff, Francois Louis-Auray, had to pull in heavy pipes to water the course here, but it's now fully automated on a computer basis. According to the weather, the computer works out humidity requirements and regulates the degrees of watering. So technology playing as part of Crans-Sur-Sierre, and Guilford drops a shot at 18. And the result of all that is a 69. He's been in amongst the beautiful flora here up in the mountains. He's seen the pine trees, but he's come out of it with a score under par, 2 under par for David Guilford. And Barry Lane, third member of this experienced 3-ball. Yes, Lane taps in. And all 3 players finishing under par, but it's Lee Westwood who leads this tournament. He's 7 under par after that eagle at the 15th. 1 shot clear of Colin Montgomery, Eduardo Romero and Malcolm Mackenzie. Montgomery has never won this tournament in the Swiss Alps, the European Masters. Gary Orr, one of the many players on 5 under par. And a clutch of Englishmen at 4 and 3 under, including Roger Chapman, Peter Mitchell, good season he's having. Robert Coles wanting to make sure to hang on to his tour card. The Germans, Sven Struver and Padraig Harrington in with a 69. The Irishman, Stephen Bottomley, Carl Mason 2 under. So we'll be back live with the second round of the Canon European Masters tomorrow at the same time. From Mark Robson, it's a very good afternoon from this wonderful setting.
The PGA European Tour was brought to you by Volvo.